welcome back to Wedding Mayhem. Look who's here. DJ Lee Russell's in the house.
Love it.
How are you?
I'm very well, very
Good.
busy, which is good. How's your week been?
Yeah, you remember.
I did. It's not about me. It's got to ask you.
He always forgets to ask me how I am.
Because my week's been busy, and I see people see it on the socials, but obviously your week's been busy as well, and people see you on your socials.
Do you think that we forget to ask how we are because we've seen each other on socials?
Yeah, I feel as if I know your week.
Yeah,
like with the bees and the running. And, do you know what I mean? But that's how I feel. But it's that you forget that. How's your week been? All right.
Yeah.
And you're like, actually, I'm exhausted, or I'm buzzing for the weekend, or I've got this going on. Just that chat. But I feel as if I've seen it all. But actually,
it's a personal check-in, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because we see what we post, but we don't.
Sometimes I just need that hug as well. So, how you been? I'm broken, or I'm loving life. Do you know what I mean? It's like everyone's different, but
we're all broken.
Just it's so busy. It's great. Like it's go 100 miles an hour.
Yeah,
isn't it? Which is great. I love it.
Could you be anything else?
No,
I can't.
No.
If there's if there's a gap, if there's a hole, I'm going to fill it.
Well, I had an hour this morning. So I'm like, let's fill it. Let's go. Like, let's crack on. Like,
So we didn't address this last time. So Lauren is coming into maternity leave now. So today she's having her baby scan. So we've dropped you in at the last minute.
Yeah,
so
we're working tonight in London for a corporate event.
Are you?
Yeah, for an awards night.
Are there more corporate events now? I feel that there are.
Yeah. There's a lot going on out there. If you're willing to work, there's work out there. And you get in with one company and then they invite someone to their awards night. They see you, they want you, and then it just boom, boom, boom. But yeah, midweek is still very busy. People think you just work weekends. What do you do during the week? Is this your full-time job? I'm like,
I think that's actually, a good point because, we get it a lot. I'm going, I'm having a Wednesday wedding. People think we're weird.
No way. Not nowadays.
No.
Literally. You can save money being smarter, having your weddings on different days with venues, not so much with suppliers, but with venues do offers during the week. But there's a lot of midweek weddings out there. Had inquiries this morning actually for a midweek wedding 2027. Yeah. So
I rate a midweek wedding because I think then you can do a long weekend. If you plan to go away straight away, your flights are on Saturday and Sunday, then you're not having to wait. You can just go.
Yeah. I mean, one we did a couple of weeks ago was awesome. On a Wednesday, awesome. Like literally, everyone was well up for it. They're like, it's not a weekend and I'm partying. Yeah. So when you look at it like that,
more exciting.
Yeah. So guests were very much up for it as well, because that's always the concern. Are your guests up for it? They're having to take a day off work, but I think now everyone is up.
I think if you can give people enough notice,
100%.
That to get time off work and get the kids arranged and
100%.
Dog looked after and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they're free.
And people, people want to go out.
Well, the shackles are off, aren't they? They're like, let's
midweek,
go. Yeah,
midweek, and then you got the weekend.
They feel a bit naughty.
Yeah, they're all doing like shots and dance. Like literally, it was chaos, but it was awesome. Like I'd recommend it.
What are you seeing new coming through for 2025?
I think there's a lot. People are still they're going all out. That's what I find.
Because I think people don't go out anymore. They might go out for meals and stuff like that.
I'm finding weddings are bigger.
Okay.
And I found
bigger in what ways? In numbers or
numbers?
In
so in regards numbers, so it used to be daytime guests, evening guests.
Yeah.
I'm seeing more now. Guests are all day.
Yeah.
And not 2 or 3 in the evening who couldn't get there in the daytime because of work. That's what I'm seeing.
Stragglers.
Yeah, because I was very much like, how many daytime guests, how many evening? Now it's like the guests are all the way through.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So it's bigger in the daytime sense.
More structured.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's what I'm finding.
Well,
You?
Same. I mean, they're coming in and they're having like a second dress because the wedding's got longer.
That's also the last 2 weddings.
Yeah.
Brides have changed at 9 o'clock, 9:30. Last weekend's bride didn't change because she was dancing too much.
Yeah.
And literally she was like, I forgot to change.
Yeah. You'll forget. You will forget.
I was surprised. I was like, are you going to get changed? She's like, I'm not leaving the dance floor. And literally, she did not leave the dance floor. And I say that, she did not leave the dance floor.
I think when they're trying dresses on, they probably feel that they won't be able to dance in it. They're restricted in their movements and that. But after you're married and it kicks off, you don't care. I've
seen them changing shoes a lot recently.
Yeah, 3 pairs of shoes I had on my wedding.
Brides. brides are changing their shoes a lot. They're having the ceremony ones, then they're having the daytime one, then they've got their party ones.
Yeah, trainers, or I had Uggs.
Yeah, the
Uggs.
Crocs are at the moment.
Yeah, oh no, please.
But white wedding Crocs.
No.
Brides, I've seen a few.
No, get off.
I'm not saying it's right. I do like the Air Forces. I do like the white Air Forces.
Yeah.
But I have seen them. Yeah, they are. That's.
Shall we ask our guest what she thinks about Crocs? So we have Jo Duncton from Basically Balloons.
Hello.
Have I pronounced your surname right?
You have, yeah.
Oh, I've been practicing. We've got to ask her that question.
I know. Oh. Okay.
So tell us what you do.
I do balloons.
Just as simply as that.
Simply as that, I do balloons. Yeah, so I co-run Basically Balloons with my mum, bless her. We've been going about 16 years now. Yeah. 16 years this month, actually.
What made you do it? Because it's a strange thing to wake up and go, I'm going to blow up balloons.
So popular.
It is really popular.
Balloons
especially
are back.
now. It's huge. Yeah. It was my 18th birthday party. I'm aging myself now, aren't I? So we started the business a few years after that, but it was my 18th birthday and we couldn't find anyone to do balloons. We'd done it previously with my brother's 18th where we had to go down the shop and then you're lugging it through the centre, cramming them in the car.
I see it because I'm in the high street.
In
the wind.
Ramming it in the wind. And then one burst on the way and we wanted someone that would just come there and then we could all just chill out in the day. And we couldn't find anyone. We ended up having to go quite far out of area to find somebody to do it. So we were like, there's a bit of a gap in the market there. I've always had a bit of an interest in the whole hospitality side of things anyway.
A bit. You love it as well.
Yeah, because you two actually know each other.
We do.
So when I said to him, I've got a balloon balloon lady coming in, and he went, "Is it Jo?" And I was like, and then I messaged you, and we're like, "Oh, this is going to be chaos."
and I also DJ'd at Jo's wedding.
You did.
You
did.
Yeah. And she had nice balloons at her wedding.
I did. I couldn't have my wedding and not have balloons, but it was subtle. But and it just kind of went from there. So I was 18 at the time, went away, did what most teens do, did a bit of travelling, and then we just decided to get trained and open a business.
Hello, we hope you're enjoying this episode of Wedding Mayhem so far. This is just a quick shout out to this episode's sponsor, Wedding Shore.
Your wedding day is one of the most important days of your life, but sometimes things can and do go wrong.
A supplier goes bankrupt, lost wedding rings, or even the weather turns against you.
Wedding Shore offers comprehensive wedding insurance, so you're not left out of pocket should the unexpected happen.
With cover starting from just $38.99, Wedding Shore protect your big day with 10 tiers of cover available up to £100,000.
From cancellations and rearrangements to loss, theft and damage of your wedding outfits, gifts and rings, supply failure and much more.
Wedding Shore makes sure your day is protected, stress-free claims, no hidden costs, and additional add-ons as well available like public liability, COVID-19 cover and excess waivers.
Visit weddingshore.co.uk and get a quote today. It's a small price to pay for your peace of mind.
Right, back to today's episode.
When you say that you were looking for balloons, why did you have to go so far out?
Because we wanted someone that would come, deliver them to us and set them up.
Do it at the venue.
Right, we wanted to take the stress and the aggravation away of having to do it ourselves.
Okay.
That was basically
because I've done that.
Yeah.
At the middle wedding. And
do you know Sharon's been married before?
I do have to count them. Stop it. Honestly, Lauren, come back. And we got married at Paynes Hill, and we had the first marquee in the wall garden.
Yeah.
So, and our theme was red and white. So we blew up all the balloons. Sorry, I blew up all the balloons with bridesmaids, and then we delivered them to the venue, and they were all up they were beautiful. And then when we then came back from the church, they were all on the floor. And
that's stressful, right? That's stressful.
Well, it was really stressful because then we're like, and I'm like, oh, look, balloon confetti. And as people were walking through, the balloons were just going like this. So I made it a thing because you have to.
Yeah. You've got to make the best of that sort of situation, haven't you, really?
But I was
because the effort you've put into it as well, we had next door neighbours doing it, we were doing it, there were hundreds and hundreds and getting it there and getting it in cars and stuff like that.
And then the panic as well of, is it going to burst on the way? I mean, I've had it before even at venues. I've moved them from downstairs to upstairs and you can it's like a firing range. You just bang, 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 bang. And you have to, which is fine for me because I can just replace it. But if I was going in as someone doing it myself,
Stressful.
It's stressful. It is stressful.
And we're using real balloons, aren't we? Not using like helium balloons or...
Yep, so obviously the stuff that you can get in the shops and stuff in the high street or that you can buy off of like online retailers is different to what we use.
Okay. How is it different?
So the balloons that we use are what they call professional grade balloons. Okay. So there's a little bit more versatility with them. They tend to be stronger. They're better quality.
Okay.
Considerably better quality.
What are they made of?
They're still made of latex. So there's loads of different types of balloons you can get now. You can get bubble balloons, foil balloons, latex balloons. Yeah. Depending on the look that you want, depends on basically the type of balloon that we would use.
Okay.
The traditional pear-shaped balloons, they're your latex balloons. So yeah, we use professional grade everything. It all comes from official manufacturers and suppliers. Right. We don't buy anything off of online retailers. I have turned up to places before where clients have sort of opted to do their own type of stuff alongside what they've ordered from us. And they're running out of time. Like, can you quickly blow these up for me? We never inflate anyone else's balloons with helium, but I'm like, okay, I'll give you a quick hand. I've walked out covered in rashes and burns and stuff.
Because it can hurt.
Yeah, and also the stuff that comes out of them.
Like what?
I don't quite know what's in them. But when you're inflating, you can almost hear this sand, sort of grainy texture inside these balloons, which is not what we have when we're doing it professionally.
You know what? You're right. I can hear that sound.
They're not supposed to make that sound.
And they last the evening as well.
Yeah.
Do they? Well, you must see, because you come in the evening.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we do get a lot of feedback, which is always really nice. As to they lasted ages. You know, we could have them for various different parts throughout the day or through the celebration. So they do last really, really well. The ones you do tend to get typically online, 9 times out of 10, they are using somebody else's photo to advertise product. I've had it done to me.
Sorry?
Yeah, so a lot, not with specific businesses that have their own online shops, but the larger corporations that you buy these sort of DIY kits from.
Oh, okay, right, okay. So they're not actually their balloons, they're using somebody else's visuals to advertise.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going to, I won't brand drop.
I know, you're like this.
But you're all probably wondering, everyone probably knows. There are certain kits out there you can buy that are specifically made by proper manufacturers to be able to do it. But the popular go-to places, I've had it done to me. Photos taken, someone passes it off as their own and go, oh, you can do it with this kit. And I'm looking at it going, that's not how I made it. But yeah, it's a whole other world of
just think balloons are easy, and you know you've got to be careful, haven't you? Because you are using is it gas?
Yeah, so helium is really dangerous. A lot of people don't realise it. I will hold my hands up. My party trick used to be having a party tank and inhaling helium.
Or to the Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck.
Yeah.
Funny, we're just going to do that now, Jane.
Can we not? But yeah, that used to be my little go-to. And then I did my training. God. And I realised just quite how dangerous helium is.
How is it dangerous?
So the reason your voice goes high pitch is because what it does is it restricts the windpipe around your vocal cords.
Right.
Yeah, basically. Starts shutting down your airway. And when we did our training, we were told a true story about someone who, basically the trainer had trained somebody, and this person had messed around with helium in the training session and was out like a light because they just shut their airways down.
Did they die?
I don't know. I think if they didn't, they were incredibly poorly.
Oh
yeah, God. So it restricts the airway.
Jesus, I've got half lung capacity. I'll be gone.
Yeah, don't do that. No. Don't do that. So as soon as I did that, I was like, the helium tanks will go in the bin. And obviously we don't use the disposable tanks. We use industry graded helium. It comes in really large canisters. It's not what you buy off the shelf.
Because if you're doing it yourself, you've got all the equipment that you've then got to clear up and take away, haven't you? You can't just dispose of it.
No. So yeah, and that's a lot of part of it is that obviously the tanks and stuff that you can buy in the shops, they're fine. And if that's what people want to do, that's entirely up to them. But then you've got to get rid of that tank. Or you've got to have the right valve for the right type of balloon. So we've got 5 different valves, depending on what balloon we're inflating.
Right.
Whereas with the tanks that you can buy, they've all got this little tilt valve on them. Not every balloon is suitable for that.
God, it's a minefield, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. I've been on site where you've been doing it and you're like, change that, do that. And it's like, and then, we can't do that. And then you've got all the tools. So I can see how stressful it is to other people when they're like, oh, come on. And I'm like, no, you have to have all the tools to do it in the time frame you have.
Yeah.
And what kind of environment can you not do this?
How do you mean?
Like
National Trust.
Oh, what, like location-wise?
I wasn't thinking about that, but
that is true because
really
we worked on an event last year where they wanted to put the balloons outside, and you were like, no, we need it inside because if for whatever reason it was a little bit windy, so they were like, it's going to blow away into a National Trust, and if you a deer gets hold of a balloon or whatever, and
Yeah.
you just,
yeah.
so there was all
my
that.
bees might get hold of them.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's that's why I interpreted from the question.
You have to be
there.
really mindful of the location that you're working in.
Right. Okay.
So it's little things, sort of like often you have for instance, a doorway. Really simple. People go, I want an arch over the doorway. Yeah, that's great. It's also a fire escape. You can't block it.
Right. Okay.
And people can sometimes find that really disappointing because they, in their head, have an
this
image
vision.
of what they want and
Yeah.
a vision, and they want to bring that to life.
Probably why they've booked the venue as well. They've
Yeah.
walked around going, that.
And it's kind of, I suppose that's where sometimes you need the venues to be having those communications with the bride and groom.
But that's also your experience as well.
Yeah.
You know that's a fire escape.
Yeah, you
but
cannot block
also,
it.
the venue can't preempt everything when they're walking around with a client for the first time. They can't go, you can't have that there. Because you talk about in the negatives. When
Yeah.
you're
They're just
walking around a
trying to get
venue,
sales,
you're like,
aren't
this will be lovely. You can have your ceremony here and blah. Blah.
Yeah.
You don't want people going in and go, right, you can't do this, can't do that, can't do that.
And often, especially decor and stuff, it comes as everything starts being planned and ideas start getting thrown around, because 9 times out of 10 what you thought from the beginning isn't what you end up with. And the wedding planning process is a really long time, so decor tends to come a little bit later.
Yeah.
But they've got their vision in their head, what they want.
But they know
when
what
they see
they
their
want.
venue, they're like, I want this there, that there, that. I want this there. So they all know what they want.
Yeah, it's just about bringing that to life.
Yeah, so my actual question was more about weather conditions and stuff like that. Can you do it on a boat or?
I've done boats.
Okay.
Yeah, I've done boats. I've I've done a boat before. We were given a 10-minute lead time before the boat was leaving the dock, and then it was driving to another dock to pick the party up. So we had to liaise with the crew, and we were inflating balloons and setting them up as the boat was sailing down the Thames. We dispatched off the boat and the party got on. That was quite fun.
Wow.
Yeah, that was good fun. We had to get it done, and obviously with things like some of the boats, the ceilings are really low.
Yes.
So you can't just turn up with it all already done.
Yeah.
And often where they're situated, you can't just pull up a car alongside.
No.
So yeah, it's
And I think
it's
putting loads of balloons in a tight space can be quite claustrophobic.
Yeah. And then you're sort of trying to inflate things and get eye lines straight, and your venue's doing this.
Yes.
And you're like, I can't height these because everything's moving.
Okay.
But that was a really fun one to do, actually.
Okay. And we talk about what you just said regarding National Trust. How is this for the environment?
Yeah.
We've got to be mindful, haven't we?
We have got to be mindful. It's something that we've always been mindful of. It's something that many years ago we got a lot of backlash over because we put a social media post out which went onto Twitter at the time, which is now X or something or other.
I'm so confused, yeah.
And we put hashtag in it of balloon release. So we're part of NABAS, which is an association for balloon artists. And we work and
Sounds a bit like NASA, doesn't it?
yeah.
We're not part of that.
I've not quite got to space with my balloons yet.
You're not Katy Perry. Yeah.
Did she go? Did she go?
I
Did they go?
I don't know.
I just have in my head that when she was in there, that the launch was fireworks.
But did they go? Did they?
I don't know. And can you really say you've gone if you've gone for 11 minutes?
Yeah, her hair was too perfect.
Yeah, they were all very pristine looking for being zero gravity, and
There was no sick down them.
No. I remember meant to be doing I don't know.
It was supposed to spinning, no.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to you, environment.
yeah. So with the association, they have code of conduct.
Right.
So we follow that code of conduct really, really closely, and one of those is being really mindful of the environment and sustainability. So we have done. I hold my hands up. No one shoot me down. Back in the early days when we first started, we have done balloon releases. We did it in line with their guidance of only using latex balloons, biodegradable attachments like race cards and anything that would basically disintegrate naturally in the environment. We've probably done that a small handful of times. Up until about...
Balloons are not biodegradable.
Latex balloons are.
Are they?
Yeah. So latex balloons are, however... There are varying factors with how well they biodegrade. So they are made, and I'm probably going to get this wrong because it's science, which is not my forte. But they're basically...
We'll ask AI.
Yeah, ChatGPT. But basically, they're made from a natural source out of trees. Something to do with the latex formulation.
Really? The glue, maybe.
I'm not... Yeah, something to do with the sap. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
And then, so that's what makes latex balloons. And then basically when they're released or whatever happens to them, they then degrade at the same rate as an oak leaf. But you've got the fact of that it's a stretchy material, so therefore if an animal picks it up, it's a choking hazard, all that sort of thing. So we do not allow balloon releases.
You don't see that very often nowadays.
No. It used to be a really big thing back when we first started.
I like to
haven't
release
seen
a balloon for my dad every year.
Yeah, but one balloon.
Yeah, one.
So, we're talking like hundreds of balloons you used to see every so often.
Yeah.
But now, one...
So we will not sell a single balloon if we know it's being released.
Really?
Yeah. And we haven't done now for, I would say, about 12 years. We haven't done now.
I've not seen any lanterns being released either.
No, I've seen fire from...
I was going to say, they're setting fire to venues and stuff, aren't they?
I've seen, you see the, obviously we have online now, you see, show the videos which go wrong and the lanterns being let off and then setting a tree on fire. Oh yeah.
See all sorts.
It's quite American, the lanterns
Yeah.
being set off. Not many have done that.
Loads in COVID.
Yeah.
Loads in COVID.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it for a while.
No,
Yeah.
I haven't. I think people are erring more now on the side of things like bubbles and seed scatterings, and so or you can get the little cards that you can actually plant in your garden and then it grows flowers, which is really nice.
Yeah, they're doing us favours.
Yeah, I think that's a much better option than. And realistically speaking, balloons these days, if you want a balloon that's going to be suitable to be released, it's not going to be cheap in terms of money. It's a lot of money to literally let go in the sky and damage local.
How much are they?
Anything from £3 up to about 70 per balloon, depending on what you go for. And that's based on our pricing.
Yeah.
Everyone's pricing is different.
So they will be cheaper out there, but they won't be everything that you've just said.
Yeah.
Okay. They'll be on the floor when you get back.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it's the environment's something, and you've got things as well that they've brought in now, like single-use plastics. So I think it was last year they brought in a single-use plastic ban, where the government brought in, basically they will fine you now if you sell single-use plastics. So we used to do displays on a cup and stick, and you probably saw like when you went to McDonald's and stuff like that.
At the fair.
Everyone gets a cup and stick balloon. You are not allowed to use them anymore. I still see businesses using them,
Wow.
but we don't use them.
Yeah, I was going to say the name now, but the High Street place, Sop, you know which one I mean.
Yeah.
That's they've got those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not allowed.
I haven't
to
seen them at
Yes.
events.
No, you're
I
not
didn't know
anything. The manufacturer has got to market it as a reusable item.
Right.
You can't decide that it can be reusable. So even if a client brings it back to you and goes, "Oh, you can reuse this,"
Right.
we're not physically allowed to sell it if it's not been manufactured initially as a reusable item.
Right.
So we have now sticks that are made out of. I don't actually know what they're made out of, but they're basically reusable,
right.
and more environmentally friendly.
Okay.
And the cups as well, they've managed to manufacture the cups
They break down.
so that they break down and they're much better.
Okay.
It's something that we feel we have to be quite mindful of because of what we do as a business.
Yeah.
Because
It's reputation.
it's
as well.
reputation. So it's about, we appreciate that it causes litter.
Yeah.
So we have guidance and stuff in our T&Cs, and we have posts that we put out on our website and stuff about what we're trying to do in order to avoid that.
Yeah.
And even like the bigger displays, when you see we do these beautiful arrangements, we say, we'll come break it down. We can repurpose the balloons. We tie the balloons in a certain way we can undo them. So we wouldn't resell
So they can be reused, those balloons?
Yeah, I wouldn't sell to a client a used balloon.
Yeah.
Particularly, by the time someone's had a party out of it, drinks have been thrown everywhere and all of this. But if we need stuff for training purposes to make up mock-ups and stuff like that, we have a box of balloons that have been used that we've been able to untie, and we'll reuse them like that.
That's really cool.
Yeah, we do our bit to try and reduce the waste.
Yeah. You can ask that question.
Nibbles.
Say it louder.
Nibbles.
Nipples. It's P, not B.
Oh, sorry.
You're
He's gone
hungry,
really
Lee.
red. He's gone really
You
red.
do this to me every time.
Nipples. You know what I'm talking about?
I do know what you're talking about.
I didn't know what you're talking about.
I've
That's why I
got
was a bit
thousands of nipples in my office.
Yeah, nipples.
I don't know what you're talking about then. You done this to me last time.
Oh, you blushed.
I got a dodgy question last time. I was going to go with a nice one then as well.
Nipples. Yeah, this is the end bit of the balloon, isn't it? They look like nipples.
Right.
Can see it. Close your eyes.
Yeah, but
Can you see it?
yes.
Yeah.
But what's the question?
Can you get rid of them?
No.
I had a bride ask us this last year. They searched
There's some
everywhere.
makes you can get where it is distinctly less obvious.
Right.
And obviously it does depend on your colour choice.
Yes, okay. So
Because if you get a nice peach balloon that's inflated and you've got it front facing,
It does look like
it's
a
going to
booby.
look a little
I
bit
see
like
what you
a
mean.
booby.
I see what you mean. Oh, right.
That's a penny dropped.
Yeah, but I was like, why? Why am I having to ask that question? I'm thinking of the balloon. I'm thinking, oh, yeah.
Oh, you're thinking the dangly bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, right at the top.
Yeah, right at the top. Yeah, I get that now. Yeah.
What is it?
It's where the colour
mass.
concentrates when they make the balloon.
So I haven't seen that
Nipples.
for a long time.
What, nipples?
No, both. Yeah, but do you know what I mean? I haven't seen that just because I don't see any peach balloons.
It's not just it's in all colours. So
All
every
colours.
colour balloon has them, just some are more obvious than others. And
We're
some are more inappropriate.
going
than
to
others.
do a demo later, aren't
Yes,
we?
we are, yeah.
So we'll show you where the
Oh,
nipples
okay,
are.
I get that now. All right, I get that now. Yeah.
So there's no getting away with it. It's how they're made.
Yeah, it's like I say, there are some brands and some gets where you get it. It's a lot less obvious.
If we're picking a colour, what's the best colour to go for?
Black.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, if you want it really discreet.
Yeah,
And
mind
you
you,
don't
these
want to see
black
it
and
black.
white weddings are,
Monochrome's really in at the
Yeah,
moment.
Yeah,
I love
black
it.
and white wedding the weekend.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love it. It's clean.
Yeah,
Black
nice
tie,
and crisp,
black tie.
Yeah.
It works perfectly.
And
with
we
the tie.
saw this happening from our September trade shows that we were going clean era.
Yeah.
We're coming in for next year. You're going to see lots of pastels and
Yeah.
embroidery on dresses. So dresses not having the colour in, but having the accessories with the colour in, either in
Nice.
the veils and stuff like that. So you'll see more multicolours coming through.
Yeah,
But
there's
definitely
definitely
cleans.
peaks and troughs in terms of trends and stuff. And they then
100%.
cycle back round, don't they?
I've had
100%.
two black tie weddings already this year.
I love a black tie. I had a black tie wedding.
Yeah.
So how do balloons fit now?
I nicked my
in-
question.
Did I?
Yeah.
All right, you ask it then.
How do balloons fit into weddings nowadays?
I think they're a lot more. There's so much out there now in terms of balloon design. It's
Because
got
aren't they deemed to be old fashioned?
yeah.
Okay. So how are we making it more modern?
So typically, when you say balloons at a wedding, people think 3 balloons, helium filled, on a way, on a table, job done.
And that's just not the case
And that's
nowadays.
just not the case.
Okay.
We still, don't get me wrong, we still do an awful lot of that, and there's nothing wrong with the classic decor.
Yeah.
But people now love this organic look with the garlands tightly knitted together, all different size balloons, bringing in florals or lighting, shimmer
photo displays.
Yeah.
So they all want.
Really?
So-
big
so they want-
installations.
Tell me more about the photo displays.
So there's just massive installations, and they basically then work as backdrops. So they're not only a feature for your day,
Yeah.
but it's backdrops for pictures. If you've
Okay.
got
Have the photo booth in front of it. so
photo
you can
booth in
have
front of
that
it,
as
it's a
well.
great idea.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
giant balloons as well
Still massive.
are still really big. I mean,
Giant boobs are still massive.
the big one, the big, they can have the Mr. and Mrs. and the balloons, the big ones on the side engraved with their names on
Yeah.
the date and stuff like that. So they're still.
That's great.
and they're really cool. And they're nice, and they're a bit different.
Yeah.
But they're a great photo op. For you can take them outside with your photographer. And
So we've had that at
beautiful
Burr Hill. The
photos.
photographer took the bride and groom outside with the big balloons, had Mr. and Mrs. on the big balloons, and it would look like the bride was being flown away with
Yeah.
the balloons in the air, and the groom was like holding. She was on her tiptoes, and the groom was like trying to hold her, and it looked like she was flown away.
Oh, I like
Which is a
that.
great
It's a
photo.
really great
Banksy,
idea.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's really cool. I did them at my wedding. We've done them the last 2 years. It's been the main thing we've done at weddings is the Mr. and Mrs. balloons.
Yeah.
And they're great for hen parties as well. I did one for a hen party, and she actually put it on her. She had a giant balloon, and rather than having bride to be, she actually, I think it was 65 days to go. We printed that onto the balloon for her, and she had that as her hen party balloon with a really nice, pretty tassel off.
Because people love photos, and if you've got it printed onto the balloon, any form of writing the date or their name, a photo opportunity is what people still love, isn't it?
I think
So
we just
having
live
that-
in that world now, don't we, where any excuse to stick a picture on social media
absolutely.
to have a story behind it. And because we do all of our own printing ourselves on the balloons, they can say anything.
That sounds difficult, printing on balloons.
No, it's not too bad.
It's
We
not.
vinyl print.
Okay.
So machine cuts it and then we hand lay it all.
And I've seen you do that as well, and it's not easy. Like I was like, I ain't touching anything like that. It's literally when you say a woman's touch, it definitely is. That doing it was.
It's
not
an attention
easy.
to detail
Yeah,
thing. You can't
yeah.
just slap it on.
Yeah, no, very much. It was.
What are the problems that you may face? I know we talked on our Zoom about helium shortages and stuff like that, which I suppose is like the pubs not having the carbon.
Yeah.
I'll say monoxide, was it?
Carbon.
Oh, carbon for the fizz in the beer and
Yeah.
stuff like that when they had a
C2O
shortage.
gas.
That's
Yeah.
the one. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, helium, especially just after COVID, was a real issue. There was a massive helium shortage. We were all as
Did
companies.
the price.
The price skyrocketed, absolutely skyrocketed, and we still have to pay that.
There's no alternative that you can use.
No, if
Okay.
you want a balloon to float, you've got to fill it with helium. obviously you can do air-filled displays where you can put them on stands and stuff, but ultimately if you want a floating balloon, you've got to put helium in it. And we've obviously priced for jobs and customers have paid for jobs and then it quadrupled. You can't then go back to someone that's paid for a product and say, oh, by the way...
Well, you wouldn't.
No, some people would.
But we did see a lot of companies pull out of weddings because they couldn't do it. So they held them ransom.
We did have to say to a couple of people where they were coming in wanting mass helium stuff, we were like, we're having to basically ration how much we can do per booking. We were being given an allowance. So I think we were down at one point to we were allowed 1 tank every 6 weeks.
Has that changed now?
Yeah, it's changed now. They've taken the cap off now.
Where's it coming from?
I have no idea. It comes in from overseas. They ship it in, bottle it up, and then they ship it out to. Well, we have to go and pick it up. But yeah, the helium shortages was huge, and that's why when you get balloons from a professional company, it is more expensive because we are using professional grade helium.
You're not going to a shop and buying it.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Is there different types?
I mean, obviously, I can't quote what people are getting in retail shops, but it is very, very different to what you get in the little party tanks. It's more concentrated. So you should do a lot more.
Have you done a video of like?
I have done pictures in the past where I filled one up off a disposable. They do last longer. Average float for helium latex without treatment is 7 to 10 hours, give or take, depending on conditions. You put high float in it. I've had one on the ceiling before for 7 days.
Really?
Yeah. So it's all
longer,
little
longer.
If not long. Yeah, Lee's had orbs off me before, which have gone on for months.
Yeah.
In the end, he's ready to take the bread knife to them.
Yeah, my daughter loves having the balloons for her birthday, and we do the money hanging down from the balloon for her, and it comes out the box, and literally she'll have it in her room for a good couple of months, floating, because it's a good quality.
So we've got a demo.
We have.
Should we? Where have we got it? Well, I don't know where you hid it and what we're doing.
Don't worry, we're not making poodles.
What is that? Oh, show him the nipples.
Oh, you'll see it as we get towards the end. So basically,
do we need to move our cup?
No, you're fine. Your nipple is the very end.
I get it now. I get it now.
Right. Any preference on colour, Lee?
No, I don't mind. Pink, have you got it? Oh, you haven't got
blue.
it.
Oh, I haven't got it.
Oh, I can have that one.
You do realise
you want to show anyone?
Joe knows I don't like balloons.
He hates balloons.
You're not joking either.
Is this clowns and balloons?
No, clowns are fine. It's just balloons.
Why?
Because at the end of a party, or an event sometimes, what do people do? I'm unplugging electrics.
I'll be that dick going around popping them.
And people are popping the balloon.
Yeah, I would.
Literally,
I love it.
But if you're touching electric, and if you're pulling out plugs, and
you think you're exploding.
Your heart is literally. You laugh.
Can you video this, please?
People literally. I have to go outside while they're doing it. Yeah, I'm like, I'll come back in 10 minutes.
I just don't understand why people burst them at the end of parties though. I don't get why people just.
It's a bit naughtiness,
give them away,
isn't it?
or just do something with them.
Some people but it doesn't literally.
I'd be stuffing it on my jumper or something.
Exactly. I'd say rub it on my.
Oh, your hair. So your hair's on end.
Rub it on my hair.
Obviously.
Does it do that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
There you go.
Oh, hold on, right, what are we doing?
Okay, so really big thing at the moment is pearls.
Ooh.
Pearls?
Pearls on balloons. So I don't know if you've seen them through socials and stuff where you get air-filled displays and they basically line the edge of all the balloons with pearls. Made out of these.
Right.
Or when you're doing the larger displays and you want to put strings, so it looks like little pearls.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Let's make up one of these.
Okay.
Good old modelling balloon.
Why don't you show me then?
That you typically have for... We can all start whacking each other in a minute. Right,
yeah.
So, 260 balloon.
Yeah.
About half inflated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So what you do not let go of the end that is tied. This end you can just ignore. And what you're going in is about an inch, I'd say, grip each time. You pinch
not fun.
and twist. And then the long end that you've got, keep twisting about 4 or 5 times.
I'm going to keep mine back in case you burst yours. You've got one ready.
So I've got a spare down behind me. It's fine.
Right.
Feel free to go ahead, Liz.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got your first pearl bead.
Oh, I've got 3. Oh, no, I've got nothing. Oh, hold on.
Do not let go of your first one. They will unravel.
I've got it. Come on, Sharon. Look.
Oh, no, I've got...
Stop rocket science. Twist. What are you doing?
It's a little bit small.
Wow. So many jokes. Right, go on then.
Okay, so what do you got? Don't let go of that one. So I
Okay.
tend to lock mine between my thumb and my first finger.
Okay.
So that's not going anywhere.
Yeah. Oh, literally, I am petrified.
And then you just keep going through, doing the same process.
Still holding on.
Still holding your first one.
Okay.
Give it a gentle squeeze. So
Okay.
squeeze it,
Yeah.
and then you just keep going.
Right, yeah. Just hurry up and do it.
You do
I
yours.
can't, I'm scared. I don't. This is not.
Oh, I'm not going to wet myself, Lee.
No, this is like. You know, people have clown phobias. I don't have a clown phobia. I have a balloon
I
phobia.
wonder if it's a thing.
Don't do it first. I literally.
It shouldn't burst. I have softened them.
Well, how do you soften them?
Give
I'm
a good old
stroking
squeeze.
Yeah.
How you're holding that from this angle is looking very dodgy.
I'm not doing very well here. I'm really
You are for the first time,
uneven.
no, you really are.
Mine are proper pearls that you find in the
I've done
sea.
2.
Do more.
see?
Keep going.
I feel as on my teeth and something today.
Do you know anybody listening to this on your
And if you understand a balloon phobia, you will get it. You will get
podcast
it.
platform? Go and see this on YouTube.
You'll get it.
Stop twanging
I'm
it.
trying to make it
There you
softer.
go.
There you go, done.
Right, do yours then.
I can't, it's going to burst.
It's not.
Squeeze it. Honestly, squeeze it.
it.
Not there. Not there, Lee.
I have, there you go.
You're
look, it's
squeezing
free.
your willy. It's the angle.
Oh, sorry. No, it's just scary. Like,
Oh, I need the toilet.
did you tell her I didn't like balloons? Did you tell her? Is that why?
No, we had
You
this.
know I don't like balloons.
I know. She's been on my planner for ages.
You wait, though. You wait.
You must dread it every time you turn up to an event that I've done.
Oh, right. Come on, Lee.
Oh.
It's a race.
It's not a race.
It is.
Sorry, you come first. There you go. That'll do. I've done 4.
No more.
No, it's going to burst.
Oh, I'm going to burst
You,
that.
that's probably your capacity
Don't.
now.
Is it?
And you've got
Yeah.
the nipples gone. The nipples gone.
Yeah, you are. But let's undo that one because it will burst. There you go.
There you go. Your nipples done.
Oh, look at that. It's like
You
a
get-
necklace.
Well done. There's my necklace.
So you can't let go of your first bead until you've tied it into place. I'm loving it, Sharon.
I know, it actually goes with my dress as
really
well.
does.
Actually, looks like you got a tie. Looks like no, a tie. I was being polite. A tie. A tie, Sharon. Or your allotment.
Oh, I could do it as a hairband.
Yeah, that works too.
Yeah, and if you press something forward, what does that look like?
Oh, that's my microphone. Oh, and I've lost my magnet as
Have
well.
that going forward. There you go.
Oh my god, but that actually took a lot of effort, didn't it?
Yeah. So that's what you get.
Right, I've lost my magnet. Hold on.
And they can be used for anything. So they can be used to enhance airfield stacks that we send out.
They look fantastic.
Large displays. Obviously, these are brightly coloured. If we're doing a wedding, then you typically tend to have your golds or your neutral tones,
Yeah.
or whatever colour scheme that the couple have got. Because these are quite thin, this would be one of the last things I would make.
Right.
So
Okay.
if I'm making in advance, it would be one of the last things I take, and then all I do is I loop.
How many then would you have to make? How many?
Depends on the display. If I loop those together, then that will just stay until I need it. Whereas
Okay.
if I let go of that, then the whole thing will just unravel.
So, Like that, you mean?
Like that.
See?
Would you like? Do you want me to take that away from you now?
Yeah, literally, you don't
do you feel like you're
understand.
taking life in your own
Like,
hands?
So you must have seen some things at weddings and events then.
Yeah. Yeah. There's
I'm trying to like go. I can see from
Yeah.
her
weddings
face.
not so much because obviously we tend to go in before all the action starts happening.
Right. Okay.
So while the room's still being set up, we're kind of in there then.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we tend to miss the fun stuff.
So what's the funniest event you've done?
funniest event I've done? Probably when we turn up to a porn studio. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah. Is this a sex shop?
Yeah, well, yeah, it was a sex
was it a different one?
studio. We didn't realise it was a sex studio.
Did you go with your work partner?
My mum. I wasn't actually able to deliver, so
Mum's like, I've been here before.
I'll stay for the whole event.
It's when
Just
they're
in
all
case.
good and go, all right, Joan, back again, usual.
Could you imagine? Yeah.
It would be really weird if they knew my face.
Mum's not called Joan, by the way.
No. But no, I actually couldn't deliver it. So yeah, my mum did deliver it with my dad.
Why'd you stay?
With the dad.
With my dad, yeah.
Did they come back with anything?
I haven't asked. I don't know if I
Should we
want to
get on the
know.
phone?
She was there a long time. Does display took ages to do.
What did they have? Can we ask?
It was just helium latex balloons. I think it must have been for a shoot or photos or something. I don't really know.
What colour?
Black.
No nipples?
No nipples?
Filled
No
or
nipples.
filled or unfilled?
Filled.
It was all filled.
You're thinking dirty
No, I
stuff.
don't know. Like, I'm just thinking, all the latex.
It was inflated.
Inflated.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. It was all deflated. It was all flated.
But yeah, so that was an interesting booking. But you know what? We'll work for anyone. I will pretty much work for anyone. It's you just
Balloons fit everywhere,
yeah,
don't
they do fit everywhere, and it's one of those things that ultimately, at the end of the day, if someone's happy to book you, regardless of what it's for, other than balloon releases or anything like that, if we can fit it in and we've got the capacity, then we're more than happy to do it.
Do you have many challenges at the moment with getting balloons or getting helium or anything like that?
Not so much helium at the moment. We have had a couple of manufacturers in the industry that have stopped trading. Big manufacturers.
Why is that?
I don't know the ins and outs of it. They're not actually UK based either.
Right,
so it's kind of overseas. So a lot of the stuff we buy comes in overseas and then it comes into the UK and it's distributed out from the UK. But yeah, in terms of stock things and stuff like that, we can get most stuff. What we're seeing a lot of is if we can't get it from one of our suppliers, there's a really good reason why we can't get it.
Okay.
So we get pictures that people have pulled off from Google and stuff like that, or Pinterest. Like, my son loves this. Can you do a balloon on it? If we can't get it from the supplier, then we can't do it, because you're looking then at copyright legislation and all of that. That if they aren't officially manufactured, I can probably buy it online somewhere, but I don't know what the quality's like. It's dodgy. It's dodgy.
Because of these, I mean, we are joking with you about the bangs and stuff like that. But if you've got a display that suddenly goes off, you potentially could be really bad, couldn't it? You know,
my
granddad with a
husband,
pacemaker or something.
Yeah, my poor husband, bless him. I make him deliver my giant balloons, and he feels like he's
trying to kill him off.
He said it's like driving with an atomic bomb or a set of fireworks with an open
like
flame.
me with the bees. They
are, and when they go bang, they bang. They're loud. Yeah. So it's always a worry when you know that you're going to have a 3-foot balloon in a ceremony for a wedding, because if that bursts. But everything we do, we inflate in advance. So we don't inflate. We've done it long enough now that we know how far in advance we can inflate something to be able to check the quality of it, make sure it's going to be okay. It's going to be long lasting.
Yeah.
So everything's quality checked before we leave it.
Perfect.
If we're slightly concerned in the slightest way, we'll replace it.
And I'm assuming here now that just from what you've just said, that it's important that you're not a last minute add-on for stock, that if they tell you in advance what they want, you can get that in and wait there for them. We
hold a lot of stock.
Okay.
We do, I think we've got like something like 45 drawers of different colours.
Wow.
So we do hold a lot of stock and a lot of range. But if someone wants something specific, it's more to do with the availability. I mean, you probably find this with what you're doing as well. If someone wants you for a specific date, book the date in. We can talk about the details later. Yeah. But get the date booked in. We're already taking bookings.
We do it for our seamstresses. So we say, get your seamstress booked now, and then you can mess around a little bit nearer the time.
Yeah, we can tweak things, we can change things. But I think people do think that balloons tends to be a last minute thing. It's like, but you've booked your cake, you've booked your venue, you've done all of this other stuff.
If you know having balloons, have them.
Yeah, because it's got to be delivered at a certain time. Yeah. And lots of people want that. Oh, the ceremony's at 1. Well, if being one, you could do a couple of weddings a day. Yeah. Both couples want them at 1, and you're like, well, this couple booked me first, so it's booked in. So
we've got a man standing there looking at me, and he wants to bring a game on. Nice shirt. Dressed up today. So we're going to bring this game on and we'll have a go. Can we talk about like taking the balloons down? Do you do that as well?
I love a good strike down.
Okay.
Oh, it's great. It would be Lee's worst nightmare.
You're not like, I've seen you do it and you are respectful. You're not like, I don't know how to put it. You're not like doing it in my ear like some people do. Can
I come one day? Take them down.
It's really fun.
Yes, and it's late at night, Sharon.
I'll be in bed. Give that a spin.
Oh,
proper spin. Go on. That's it.
Yeah, should we try it again?
Yeah, go.
That's it.
I've done this for ages.
What we gonna get? What we gonna get?
Oh!
Yes.
We were like, we want some gossip.
And a magic touch on that one.
Did. Right, who wants to go first?
I've got one.
You've got one.
Yeah.
We briefly went on it and we went to
just had a little bit of a...
This happened recently.
Yeah. Photographers have got the ump with guests and also with other suppliers.
With guests?
Taking photos. Yeah, I've seen a couple of weddings now where the photographer was like, I'm the only one taking photos today, even to guests. And
so a complete unplugged wedding?
Well, the bride has not said that.
Oh, right.
So, but the photographer's taken it upon themselves to be like, I'm the only one taking photos today. So, like before the ceremony, I saw, because we were doing the ceremony music, and the photographer was, some people had their phones out ready to take some photos of the bride walking in. And the registrar said, the bride hasn't said no photos, but just please be respectful of the bride's day, be in the moment.
The last thing you
quite common
want,
nowadays.
yeah, you don't. I'll tell you, it will ruin her photo of literally everybody's cameras are out, and the photographer hasn't got that clean shot back down the aisle.
We do say to people, if you are taking photos of the bride, just pull the phone down, have it your waist height, and so then they can see you in the background. Yeah. Rather than actually.
Quite daunting.
Otherwise, some people like have it over their face like that with their phone. It's like, well, I know with technology now you can edit people's pictures out, but you don't always want that. But yeah, so and then later on in the day, the photographer kind of said to me, "How would you like it if I put speakers next to your equipment and start playing music?" And I was like, I just. Feel free, almost. I was like,
it sounds like an absolute arse.
Yeah, but it was very much like it was about about the photographer rather than it should be about the bride and groom. I feel.
Yeah.
So it's
I mean, I get it that he wants all the shots, but not to tell guests that they can't take photos.
So one of the guests was taking some videos of the bridesmaids walking down the aisle, and he was like, "Stop it," like that, and I was like, "All right, mate." Like I just felt a little bit like.
I mean, people don't like being told what to do anyway.
No, I know.
Way.
And then I suppose I think after talking to the photographer later on in the day, it was very much like the in my contract it says I'm the only one allowed to take photos.
Right, please.
So it's very important.
Read your contracts. Not the first line, second line. Read all of it because they will vary. It won't be just standard stuff.
And then I had to tell another couple the other day, "Oh, you've got a sound limiter in your venue." They were like, "Is there?" I was like, "Yeah, it's in your contract." And I shouldn't be telling people what's in their contract.
The venue should have told them that.
The venue,
so we talked about venues that haven't go through. That's a major thing. They should say, what are you intending? They're not telling people because they don't want to not get booked.
Yeah, and it is tough out there for some venues at the moment because there's lots of new venues popping up every so often or people are doing DIY weddings where they're getting married and having a meal in a restaurant and then going back to someone's house and have a massive party.
Yeah. Do you think that... I'm going to get stung here. Do you think venues have priced themselves so high now that they've priced themselves out? Because a lot of these venues are going.
I think it's a difficult one. I'm definitely seeing venues...
Not reachable.
Well, that's why there's midweek weddings.
Yeah.
Because weekends, they're so expensive.
But they'll go up. They'll put those prices up.
They'll realise that once
because it'll be supply and demand, won't it? You know?
Yeah. I'm definitely seeing a trend in venues that used to historically just be a wedding venue, branching out more into all ranges of events.
Yeah.
Rather than just weddings, it's now birthday parties, baby showers, engagement parties. There's a lot going on in venues that historically would have just been a wedding venue.
Yeah, well, they're having to.
Because
that is very common. Like, yeah.
And what is your thoughts on that? Because those prices will be different to a wedding price from the venue, a lot different. And I know that a wedding is different. There's more people on hand, but it gets the backup of the couples, doesn't it? You know.
Yeah, I don't charge. I mean, I'm really transparent with my pricing. I don't charge different.
No.
Whatever I'm doing because my products are the same, my outgoing costs are the same, so I charge the same. I think there are some things that you can get away with charging a bit more for when it comes to a wedding because of the pressure.
100%.
And
I think so.
Like what?
I put a lot more planning in place for a wedding than we do a birthday party.
Yeah.
A lot. So that's why I think the price is different.
Yeah.
Okay.
From the relationships you have with the customers for a birthday party is you've booked me and we'll turn up and play.
Yeah.
But for a wedding, by the time your wedding, if we've literally 2027, we took 2 bookings for this week. We'll have a lot of correspondence for the next 2 years with these couples. So a lot more work is going into it before the wedding day. Even like an hour on FaceTime the other day.
Yeah. Okay.
And the wedding's in 2027. For a birthday party, you're just rocking it.
Yeah, for me, a wedding is a wedding. It's I don't have any difference whether, because I'm not wearing a wedding dress for a birthday party. Might be.
Yeah.
But it's still the same service regardless. Yeah. So it's quite interesting to hear your points of views.
A lot more correspondence.
So a lot more time.
Once a month, at least you'll get an email from a bride.
Okay.
With a random question, which is great.
Check in.
Yeah.
And they do think just by doing on email that it takes no time. But you see my inbox, I'll go back after here.
Mad.
And it's like, right, okay, start from the bottom up. Yeah. And then I'll do those.
Or it'd be they follow you on Instagram or Facebook.
Yeah.
And then I'll just send you a quick message on Instagram. Not a problem, but then that might take 10 minutes. And then the last couple of questions.
We've got a WhatsApp message now that goes on our website, and that's gone crazy.
Yeah, we've got the same.
And so we're messaging everywhere, so it is a lot of time. It is just one question, but I'm doing that 50 times over.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing, isn't it? Now we've got so many channels of communication that clients can come through at. You've got your social media platform, you've got your phone lines, you've got your emails, you've got contact forms on websites. So you're looking what would have been a phone call or an email.
Yeah.
Is multiplied by 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And when you've not got a huge team, the paper trail becomes enormous. And if they don't get a response as quick as they like, well, then you get a message on all of them.
All of them, yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay. Right.
So what can our couples do to help the suppliers out and make it run smoothly? Because it will help them as well, won't it?
I mean, I'm a qualified wedding planner and event planner by trade.
I am. Not on the card, Joe.
I am.
That's where we first met years ago.
That's where we first met.
Yeah. Okay.
I am.
On the circuit.
Now you're asking the question.
On the circuit years ago.
Yeah. So that was my qualification as such before I trained in the balloons, and then I had children and it just wasn't feasible to juggle both. But that's my thing. So I even find it now, even if I'm just doing balloons for couples, I fall into that trap of the planning. So you're completely right. Your communication does end up being a lot more. Yeah. Because you're helping them out. And if they know they've got that good communication relationship with you as well, sometimes they just want a sounding board.
Oh, I get loads of questions that not even for me. It's like
they ask you questions about. Oh, I get asked about dresses now after the podcast.
Yeah, I
know. Literally. But not, you've been. How'd you put my dress up? How do I put your dress up?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
bustle each. Yeah. No, we get it as well, and it's cross-referencing because I think couples going into this is the first time that they would have done this. Even planning a party, they've never done a dinner party.
That's what happened this morning on the way here.
Yeah,
I was trying to arrange a FaceTime meeting with them to discuss their wedding, and then she was like, "I just need a price." I was like, "No problem. I need a bit more information." After chatting to her for 3 minutes, she went, "You're right. I've not been married before, so are you? When can we chat? When can we do it properly?" I was like, because they think they just. She said, "I've never been married before, so I need to..."
And they're on their guard because they don't have this information. They feel really scared that they're going to mess it up because this is their life savings that they're spending.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money to throw at basically what is in effect one day.
Yeah.
And I think you can guarantee it's first question, how much is this? Yeah. Every time, before you've even found out a date, a venue, anything, how much is this? And it's like, there's so many factors that play into
when is it?
What it's going to be.
But we had a lady on the coaches and trains venues, and and she says you have to be transparent on your prices, but it is quite hard when different factors in travelling.
Yeah.
This is our basic prices, and I think that's what they want to get an idea. They want to know what they can afford because they don't want to be embarrassed.
Well,
this wedding was in Bournemouth.
Yeah.
So that's not just...
It's not down the road.
It's only not 10, 15 minutes away. It's 2 hours away.
Yeah. But we have it... They come into the shop and we ask for their budget because we're really respectful. If they tell us that they don't want to go over £500, if we see something outside of that and we'll go, look, we have got this is this, but we will tell them before so we get permission to try it on. But, on their little card, they'll go, like, we had a girl a couple of months ago and she'd put unlimited. And I said, but there must be a budget.
There's got to be a ceiling on that.
Where will you like to be? You're not the queen or whatever. And
unlimited, wow.
And a lot of them will say unlimited because they don't want to be restricted. But also it's that embarrassment. They don't want to be like embarrassed that they haven't got enough money because they don't know how things cost. So it's that
not the unknown. Is what you just said.
It's fear of the unknown, 100%. And then she was like, we put a dress on her and she burst into tears. It was the one, and everybody was clapping. And then she went, "How much is it?" And I think it was like 1,500. She went, "Oh, I don't want to spend more than 400." And we're like, the tumbleweed. But her guests were like, they went in on that. I went, oh, no, hang on a moment. And I said, no, we diffused it. And we worked out a way and we found something else, but it wasn't the same. And the moment had gone. So I think it's important that they need to have a budget.
Yeah.
But then people don't know, like, not being married before, sorry, Jane.
Yeah.
Not being married before, they don't know.
Yeah.
And sometimes they'll go on the sites where they tell you, this costs this much, this costs this much. Yeah. I think a lot of those are out of date now when they're telling people how much things cost.
Yeah.
But then if you break it down, what you get for that, you've already been in your shop for an hour, had the fitting, and had the So there's all that. Do you know what I mean? There's all of that, where you're not just buying it offline somewhere and it's turning up in a plastic bag screwed up.
It's not everyday shopping. No. And this goes back to, to one of our final questions with you is that, what is the difference between using you and doing it ourselves? Because we think it's going to be cheaper doing it ourselves.
Yeah.
Stress.
There you go, you just nailed it. I think it's like with anything. I think pretty much most people out there who dye their hair have at some point experimented with going and buying one off the shelf and chucking a box dye on. But it's passable, but it's not quite what it is in the salon. It's that what we do isn't just a product, it's a service. We're saving you time. We're saving you aggravation. We're saving you stress. We're saving you planning.
There is no price on time.
Yeah. Time's valuable. And especially these kits people buy where they want to build the arch themselves on their wedding morning. And I'm like, have you not got better things you want to be doing on one of the most important days of your life?
Because a 2 o'clock, a 1 o'clock wedding, you're in the makeup chair at 6 o'clock in the morning.
And for a 1 o'clock wedding, that needs to be finished by 12 o'clock because you've always got early arrivals and stuff needs to go on. So I need to be gone and well out of the way of the venue.
Or they say, I'll get the bridesmaids to do it. Bridesmaids, this is your job in the morning, go and do that. And the bridesmaids, they don't want to be doing that.
No. They want to be upstairs.
They still done the night before,
and it's hours. A big display, you're writing off a good 4 hours to build that. And that's with me knowing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I think it's definitely, it's a service that we're offering. We're trying to take that stress away.
Yeah.
One less thing you've got to think about on a day where you need to just sit back and enjoy it and take the moment in, because we all know your wedding day is probably one of the fastest days. Blink and you've missed it.
I do find people are bringing them thought they're like, I'm going to have my ceremony at 12 now.
Yeah.
Or 1. And I'm like, okay, that sounds great, but just to let you know, you're going to be up at 5 o'clock getting your makeup done. Is your makeup artist willing to be there at 5 o'clock?
I had a conversation with a makeup artist this week and she said exactly what you just said.
I've had that conversation with someone. Is it the same one?
Because we've and she said, I'll do it, but I'm going to charge you extra.
Yeah. We have the same thing. We have a start time that we'll start working at and an end time. If someone wants me to go back to a venue and strike down at 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm charging for that.
But then the weddings, they're so long, but they're actually losing part of their wedding because the last hour and a half,
they don't see it.
People are just exhausted.
Yeah.
And the bride and groom are the king and the queen. So
my brides that come in collecting their dresses, they're burnt. They're out. They're done.
Yeah.
They're over it already before they've even got to their day.
I think that's really sad.
It is so sad. They come and collect a dress, they're in tears, and they're like, so and so's not doing this anymore, and they were going to do this. So the DIY wedding is a great insight. Or they have been doing the DIY and everything's in its cartons, boxes, and everything, and then the person who was going to transport it for them on the morning is ill.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing. It's great to buy all of these things in and do them. And that's another thing that we do.
And you've got to take them away.
You've got to clear it up afterwards and you've got to lay it all out. And a lot of venues, they'll do a lot to a certain extent, but they have to set up their side of things. Yeah. So we go in and we offer a dressing service. So if a bride is doing a DIY wedding and they want someone on the day, independent from the wedding party, to just go in and set everything up, we offer that as a service. You don't have to buy the stuff from us. You just pay us for our time. We come in, we set it up for you, and then we walk away.
Book that early then.
So book it early.
I think also that people don't realise, and they get caught up in their little bubble of us, they forget that there's been another wedding the day before.
Yeah, and there's another one coming in straight
after. And
there's
there's another one coming in afterwards. And it happened to me on third wedding.
Yeah.
Your wedding.
The best one.
Not with me.
No. That's the fourth.
Oh God, you're the king. And people, they hadn't cleared up.
Yeah.
The night before. So my poor florist, Dawn, was fantastic because she literally got bin liners and pulled everything in so she could have a clear run of everything.
That's not unusual though.
No.
Is it not?
That happens a lot.
That happens a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not how you want it from. You expect every venue to be ready to go straight away. But no, they haven't taken the bride hasn't come in and taken her presents from the day before, because they've left them all on the side. And then they've been left there, or the card box has not been left there, and they haven't come in after breakfast to collect it. But
or their shoes under a table
and there's
somewhere.
people coming trying to set up for the following wedding. I mean, venues are pretty good nowadays. They're switched on with that, but there is the occasional one where that still happens.
Yeah, and it's dirty. Or the wedding before have trashed the place.
Yeah.
They've had to clean the carpet, and I've had that.
The amount of times I've knelt down on the floor and I'm like, that's wet.
Oh.
And you're like, what have I knelt in?
To shampoo.
And obviously someone's spilt a drink.
Or they've been sick.
Or something like that, and the carpet's about to be shampooed.
Yeah.
That's grim.
It's difficult, isn't
it? It's not a glamorous job. It's a great job. I love it.
Yeah. Do you know what? Somebody asked me the other day, they were like,
Best
do
industry
you love
in the world.
it? And I went, I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
I do. It is the best industry.
I say this to everyone. It's not a job.
No.
It's a lifestyle. I'm probably like yourself. I don't sleep the night before some weddings. I'm like, because if they've been booked in for 2 years or like even longer, you are literally like people say, are you one of the guests? I'm like, no, I just really know the bride and groom really well, because
you build that relationship, don't you?
Yeah. But it can break you.
Yeah,
can't it? It's anybody coming into our industry, and this is something for couples to think about. There are lots of people coming in the industry that don't have the stamina, don't have the guts, don't have the courage.
It's an 18-hour day. Yeah, it's going to be an 18-hour day for us for a wedding.
Yeah, it's hard work. It's physically, mentally,
and I think that's what a lot of people underestimate coming into this industry. Go, oh yeah, you just do balloons. I'm like, but then you've got to still run the business side of it.
Yeah, the dress side for me is the easy part.
Yeah, it's the background stuff.
It's the things I have to do behind the scenes is but this is where it's important that we book the right supplier in the first place.
At the beginning.
Somebody who's done their due diligence and and have great ethics as well.
We said it recently, that people you trust, and if you look at your suppliers, I trust them to be at my wedding. I trust them to. Yeah.
I'd rather pay 10% more and know that you're going to turn up on the day.
Yeah.
Than somebody who's doing a cheaper price.
Sometimes there's no price on peace of mind.
No.
And I think that's really important. You don't want... I see it so much now where people are coming on going, I've had 4 phone calls, I think, in the last month, where one person has called me and said they've been let down literally the day before for a function. Someone said, we bought something online, it's not what we thought it was going to be, or it's turned up with missing parts. Literally 4 phone calls, all of the similar style. And I can't fit them in. Oh, and if I can, I'm really squeezing the people in.
You're a bit like, you feel bad.
I feel terrible.
Like, literally, we do, because I'm like...
I want to help. I want to make it happen.
But you're then adding another, bolt on to your day.
Yeah.
Where and then you've got another wedding or function the next day, and you're running on empty, aren't you? But you're doing it.
And you kind of feel you have to, because you don't want to leave. You don't want to be the person that turns around and goes, no,
because you
and doesn't
don't
make it happen.
Want this industry to get a bad name.
No.
100%.
I think that's it,
yeah, because there's a lot of people out there do give it a bad rep, and we're like the good guys. Going that extra 10, 20, 30%.
So we're gonna round up on this, because I think book the right supplier. Yes, if you have to spend a bit more, it's sometimes not about the price. You can get a round idea of figures if you're doing your research.
Totally.
But then when it comes to booking people, make sure you're booking the right people. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
We've had fun, haven't we?
Do you want yours back?
No, I don't.
Before we go into this camera here, tell everybody where they can find you.
So I'm on Instagram and on Facebook. It's basically Balloons UK.
And where can we find you?
Oh, Facebook, Instagram.
On the
everywhere.
sofa.
He's everywhere.
In therapy.
Nowhere near balloons.
Thank you everybody for watching. Again, we are absolutely smashing out. We could not do this without you. You've been fantastic. Keep liking all our posts and everything.
And don't forget, when you see us, tell us you're watching, because I love it when people tell us, I watched the episode, I love it. It's the best feeling
ever. It's the little comments that we get coming up, it's brilliant. And they're all positive. So
and it helps on the wedding day as well, because even the mums and dads are listening to it. Of the
Yeah.
bride and grooms. That was last week at a venue in Dorking.
When you get quoted.
Yeah, the mum and dad was like, I've seen you on the podcast and can we do what you were talking about? I was like, So it's a great feeling. So,
Bespoke is still haunting me after 2 years, definitely. I still can't get it right. But thank you so much, and we'll see you all next week. Bye.
Bye. Boom. Don't.
I genuinely did not realise you were as scared as you are. You have balloons at home.
I know, but they're not in my bedroom. Don't. The other night, I said that to your mum. Don't literally.
Come sit down. We're going to take our picture again.
Oh, that's the outtakes. Which
Do you want to wear these around your neck?
No, I don't. They just burst. It's like they just literally. They're not so bad, them, but like I can make a dog. But not, see, I am.